Good evening.
Test, test one, two. Test one, two. Volume's good.
I can hear you.
This one works. Testing, 1, 2, testing.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good.
Hello? 1, 2.
I'm able to hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Carol. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was getting nervous, Michelle. I was on two computers.
Box there.
This is bad. That's it. Oh, no. Nope. No. Hello? Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Need another one? Yeah, hold on. Let me see if this one works. Hello? Let's see if this works. Yeah. 2, 3. What's that? Yeah, I'm surprised I was able to pull it off. Okay. Take one of these. Time is it?
7:01.
Oh, that's good. Hey.
I count 19. 22.
Yeah. 21 would be sufficient because we have 41 members.
That's not my.
Yeah. Disseminate. Yeah, we gotta get trying to committee. That's what I don't have.
I didn't want to get in trouble. Like young guy.
Somebody,
Brian.
you know how the longest time they talking about our meeting. Right? Well, there's nothing in the bylaws like what.
Off.
Richard called.
Yep.
But we have, like, without, just walk in.
Okay. So we're ready. Otherwise, it's off.
Okay.
He's off.
Save some. It was far back.
Yeah.
I'm not being able to find out. No, I put some in my. They wouldn't come out of. Should be. Well, there, yeah. I'm trying to get out here. Bill, But every jury. Yeah, they're like that. Oh. This is the like right. Yeah, it is.
Hello, hello. Everybody ready? Everybody can sit down. Turn your cell phones off, please. If I'm mine to do mine. Yeah, we do have a quorum. All right. So just remember, if you want to speak and you're a board member, yes, but not here. I can pull it up unless Debbie has hers. I meant to bring it, but there was a mix up with the agenda. I didn't have time. I can just bring it up again on the screen if you want. Okay. So just remember, technically the way this works is if you want to speak, you're a board member, you need to be called and recognized by the chair. Okay? So raise your hand.
Good evening, Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you. It is 7:07 p.m. on Wednesday, October 30th. This is the full board meeting of Bronx Community Board 11. Do we have the flag up? We do have a quorum. Yep. Do you want to read? Harry's going to read the conduct statement.
Good evening, everybody. Hear me? Hello? Good evening, everybody. Conduct statement. Any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with Community Board 11 business. Community Board 11 meetings must be held in a professional and hostile-free environment. The following rules of conduct are applicable to members of the public, Community Board 11, Community Board 11 staff. Any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with Community Board 11 business will not be tolerated during any Community Board 11 meeting and may result in the individual being asked to leave if the action or behavior continues. This may be considered disturbing to the peace, and appropriate authorities may be summoned if the meeting is held remotely. In person may be muted or expelled for the remainder. Repeated violations by the same person or groups of people may result in further action by the community board. All public speakers must address the full board or the community with their concerns. Electioneering for position other than officer of the Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in any acts of violence, including threats, are grounds for immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings, pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Respect and equality, diversity, and privacy of all persons by respecting and valuing differences of culture and opinion. Refrain from unpleasant and disparaging remarks and other actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by activity discouraging spreading false information is prohibited.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, I just want to say, hi, I'm Hazel Muir. I'm the secretary for those that don't know me. Whenever you guys are seconding a motion, can you please say your name out loud? Because sometimes Harriet and I don't get it, and then we have to like go back into the recording and try and figure out who it was that second. And if you have a unique name, and this is for the gallery, if you happen to have a unique name, I may ask you to spell it for me because I'm not the greatest speller in the world. So please don't get offended. It's just that I want to make sure I take the accurate notes. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. A moment of silence for our fallen first responders and medical and military service personnel, and for those suffering throughout the world. Thank you. Can someone get the front door, please? There are some people trying to get in. Thank you. Moving on to the gallery session, we've already read the conduct statement. As far as gallery session, a reminder, speakers receive an initial 2 minutes of uninterrupted speaking time. Only those registered will be called upon. So first up is Ronnie Colangelo. Wait, Jeremy, did we have anybody say?
Yes, no, hold on.
Oh, sorry. I already called. Is it
Go
all?
ahead, do what you gotta do.
I meant, sorry about that, Ronnie. Dr. Carol Ann Slattery, Samaritan Top Village.
Thank you. Yes, good evening. I am Carol Ann Slattery. I am the Chief Clinical Officer at Samaritan Daytop Village. I also would like to announce that our President and Chief Executive Officer, Mitchell Netburn, is also present. We are very thankful that you are having us here tonight. We wanted to inform the board that our current outpatient clinic, behavioral health clinic that is located at 900 Arno Avenue, will be looking to relocate to 750 Astor Avenue. We are doing this because we are expanding our behavioral health clinic to add a larger amount of services for children, adolescents, families with mental health and substance use disorder. And we will be putting in more holistic wellness management, therapeutic, psychotropic medication management, along with group and individual counseling services. We are looking to expand our community-based services to allow a more amount of families and children to be serviced in the community. We have been in our current location for approximately 10 years. We have been together as an agency doing outpatient services for 60 plus years. We welcome the community to be a part of our program, and we are looking to enhance our health, behavioral health, and recovery services.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Slattery? Joanne?
Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome to the neighborhood. I was
pleased to hear that you're servicing children. So it's not just, when you hear daytop, you hear, drug abuse and so forth. And so it'll be a classic resource for children and
Yes.
groups and families. So I
Yes.
just wanted to, yeah, okay. Is there any particular diagnosis that you would service, or would be anyone that's referred from a school or self-referral from the family? How would that work?
Anyone is able to come through our doors. Any diagnosis, you do not have to have a substance use disorder diagnosis. You can have a behavior problem. You can have a family disruption and you just need psychoeducation or educational resources. We work with the schools. So we will be actually at the schools assisting the children in the classroom for push-in services with our social workers. We will be doing family education and care coordination for the families. So it's no wrong door is the attitude, and no wrong service. So we're welcoming all.
That's great. Great.
And
And
that's
do
why
you go
we
by,
need to relocate.
are you going by insurance or,
So
it's not on?
we
What?
take all insurance, and even if you don't have insurance, we will take you as well. So the undocumented, the indigent, people with insurance, we will be able to assist. The
Thank you.
reason for the move is to expand the services and to allow this type of community behavior center. The official name is a certified community behavioral health center.
Thank you, because I can't.
Can you hear? Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
Thank
Dr. Slattery. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Kadian?
Testing, testing.
Hi. Good evening. Hi.
Hi.
First of all, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank
Happy to
you.
have, the program. So I have a question about any partnerships you might have. Are you? Yeah. Chat to take it down. Louder?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, start over. So I'm welcoming you to the neighborhood. I'm happy that you're here. I think it's a great program. I just have a question about if you are partnering with any hospitals, any community-based organizations other than that to increase your volume referrals.
So we actually we partner with the local hospitals. We actually partner with the community resources for other individuals with behavioral health, and also the school partnerships, the resources, the harm reduction community services. So we have linkages, a good amount of linkages. And like I said, we've been in the community for a while. We've been in this location. We're moving obviously to a different location, but yes, we have those current linkages, and we've been accessing those linkages as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Thank you, Dr. Slattery.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Next up is Connections to Care Building Resilience in Youth, Maria Raices, Housing Solutions of New York.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Maria. They have just mentioned, as Ms. Rodriguez mentioned, I am from Housing Solutions of New York. I would like to introduce to the community a program called Building Resilience in Youth for your younger constituents. It is for children from 13 to 21. So what we do is that we go into high schools and we go into the community and we speak to the young person, of course, with the consent of the parent because they are minors. And we do an assessment. From that assessment, we'll see if they're in danger or if they're not in danger. If they are in danger, we are connected to 2 partnerships with Sunrise River Mental Health and Morrisania Mental Health. I'm going to pass by some copies of the PowerPoint to give you more an explanation of the program. But basically, it's, I believe, about 4 steps. Again, consent from the parent. Then we assess the children for their mental health because, it's a really tough stage in their life, 13 to 21, starting high school. And from there, we do some workshops on how to cope with stress, give them some coping skills on how to deal with their emotions. And if it's at the point where they need some therapeutic sessions, we have Moisana and River Therapy Health that we refer them to, or we could refer them to other therapeutic places. And then after the 4 to 6 week program, they get a $50 gift card. So, yeah. So I'm going to pass around this PowerPoint. If anybody has any questions, I try to brief it really short because I only have 30 seconds. So I'll pass this around, and questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you.
Any question? Microphones are weird. Hello, hello, hello. Are there any questions? Okay, all right. Moving on to Ms. Maritza Budd, Assistance for Building. No. Okay, Ronnie, you're up. Yes.
Go. Well, went to the City of Yes meeting on the 22nd, made a nice speech, a lot of applause, laughs, thumbs up, people shaking my hand, patting my back. But again, they think you guys don't count. All the community boards voted against it, but what do you know? You don't live in the neighborhood. You just make it up, because the bottom line was a lot of people said we're racists. We don't want to expand housing. I see this as a very mixed crowd. I don't think many of you were racists. I wasn't brought up that way. My mother, being a Baptist from Colorado, didn't see the color of a person's skin, only the color of their blood. She was a nurse. So again, we brought up 1900 Seminole in my speech. Nobody has any clues. Talk to the CEO from Jacoby. He has no clue. Nobody knows if it's sick and dying, pretrial detainees, or society's new thing, nowhere to go. Sex offenders need homes too, maybe next door to you. Can't get an answer out of anybody. It's pretty sad. We used to have a very strong group called the Mothers of 1900. On the Wednesday of our last meeting before the first penny social, we were told that we're going in a different direction. Bob tried to help me out. Maybe you can put up signs from 1900 outside. And we got a definite no from Christy Mamarato, her pal Lori, and somebody that works on her staff now, Renata. And Bob can tell you that's what happened. And then Thursday came out in the Bronx Press, we became Al D'Angelo's Valiant Volunteers, which was a lie from the beginning. He told us not to hand out flyers, not to have rallies, not to do anything. So again, we've been shut down, and it's pretty sad that we still can't find out what's going on. It's just a disgrace, and I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to plan some new rallies.
Thank you, Ronnie. Any questions? This is Maria Raices. This is a duplicate? Yeah? Okay, all right. Next up is Robert Press.
Okay, ready? Okay, first I want to clear up something. My ethics complaint is not against Borough President Gibson. Second, on tonight's agenda, you have a liquor license for 1215 East Gun Hill Road, which is known as the Gun Hill Lanes. That is above on the north side of Gun Hill Road, which is Board 12. It is not Board 11, so it shouldn't be on this agenda. Third, I want to go over the June meeting minutes. On here are the election results. It says 14 to 19 with 6 abstentions. That would mean 39 people voted. There were only 33 members present. It was 14 to 18 with 1 abstention for the chair position. The vice chair position has 9 to 17, which equals 26. That's where the 6 abstentions came in, and there was 1 write-in. It's also incorrect for secretary because 4 abstentions are missing, and as the district manager said, there was 1 wrong write-in. The sergeant of arms says 1616, which is 32. There was one abstention. This is after listening to the recording several times. As far as the runoff, you have vice chair, 5 to 20. It was 8 to 20. And the only thing that really is correct was the runoff on the sergeant of arms, which was 13 to 16. So I hope the minutes will be corrected before you people vote yes on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Miguel Dyer.
Hello.
1 second. Go on.
All right. I just wanted to start by saying that I'm coming from this from a standpoint that in my time on the board, I had no absences at any full board meeting or any committee that I was on, and I was on 4. So I feel like I have, perhaps if I had been absent more often, I wouldn't have gotten in as much trouble as I did. However, the lack of quorum on all of these committee meetings is really, really troubling to me, because it creates a situation where people are discouraged to even bring things up in committee because there's not enough people there to make a decision either way. And I don't think that's fair to anybody in the committees or on the board. And so, you know, we all have jobs, we all have personal, but I really think that if you make a decision to get on this board, then you should be an active participant. And far too long, it's been a situation where, you know, it shouldn't be the norm that quorum is not had. Furthermore, I did want to say something about staff speaking at meetings. As much as I appreciate the facts that are available by having staff there, too often I feel like it involves opinion rather than facts. And I feel like that is it amounts to an unappointed voice speaking. Thirdly, and I talked to Sandy about this, fentanyl is a huge deal. We all know that. Narcan and test strips are now available to anyone regardless of no questions asked. All you have to do is go to oasis.nyc.gov or call 311. I don't condone drug use, but if you are on your way to recovery or, you know, from a harm reduction standpoint, that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Grace Marrero.
Well, okay, now, first, can I ask for an additional couple of minutes in case I go over?
Can give you one. I can give you one.
Okay. So I'm here about an ethics, I'm giving in an ethics complaint against Deborah Kowalik and Veronica Castro.
Hold on, Grace.
Okay.
Okay, if you're doing that, you should take that to the committee. Last month, we should not allow that speaker to speak about their complaint. That should be handled the ethics committee. Correct me if I'm wrong, Naomi?
Okay, no, okay, but what I want to talk about is, you know, I had my hip hop festival. It was a success. However, there were people behind the scenes trying to make it not happen. The same way, the same people that put the kibosh on my food festival because they think they don't know how the street activity permit works. The transportation committee needs to have some kind of education on how the SAPOs work. I can help you with that. I can give them a little class on how it works, because they don't know how it works and they make decisions based on not knowing how it works. They listen to people lie about other organizations and they take that into effect. Now, Veronica Castro is the secretary and treasurer for Allerton International Merchants. She spoke against my food festival at one of the transportation committee meetings, as did Deborah Kowalik, who also had brought in Larry Moriello. And then at the last one in June, they had Larry and Jean DeFrancis all attacking me. This is unprofessional and it's a violation of ethics. What?
Yeah, Grace, I think it's better for you to take it to the committee and let's handle it
Okay,
there.
well, I wanted it on the record. I want it on the record that,
Yes.
no, I want it on the
It is.
record. I want people to understand that they don't do things the right way. And because,
I
and
understand.
because I'm in a different
I
organization.
understand, but this is not the situation in
Right.
which to do it. You can bring it to the Ethics Committee. It'll be on the record. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to the chair's report. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that our Education Committee Chair, Mary, has resigned her position here on the community board. She has moved out of the city. She is going to be sorely missed. We may see her in the neighborhood from time to time as she still has family here, but that's where we're at with her. Thank you. I attended my first borough board meeting this month. There was a lot of interesting information specifically for economic development. They had someone there from the State Liquor Authority. They went over the process for approving liquor licenses. Were those slides forwarded to the board? Do you know, Jeremy? There are some slides that were shared with me, some forms that were shared with me. We'll forward them all to the full board because I know that sometimes. Okay. So I know that there tend to be a lot of questions when we hear the liquor license application. So I think it'll be useful information for everyone to have so that that way when we come to the full board to vote on them, everyone has an idea of what the SLA looks at. Okay. Now, moving on to something else. I'm going to read something very, very briefly. It is my pleasure to inform you that you have been appointed to serve as a member of Community Board 11. I'm going to skip a couple of sentences and go on to the next paragraph. The community boards play a vital role in the governance of New York City. Board members help to make decisions concerning land use, allocation of the city's budget, and the delivery of city services as they relate to their districts. Most decisions about zoning, the placement of municipal facilities, the disposition or acquisition of city-owned property, and the expenditure of city funds on service delivery must come before the local community board for review. The community board is also responsible for monitoring city services and responding to citizen complaints. Boards usually meet once every month except July and August and consider most of their issues through the work of various committees. You are expected to attend every board meeting and serve on committees as needed. That was my acceptance letter, my acceptance into the community board letter from Vanessa Gibson back in August of 2022. When I applied, I did it knowing that there was a certain expectation as far as my time commitment. It might have been minimum of 20 hours a month. At this point, I share this with you as a reminder of why we are all here. Jeremy put it best recently when he was welcoming some of our newer members, where he said that we 41 who are in this room are the voice of the over 120,000 people that make up this district. We were selected out of several hundred applicants. Some of us have made it back for another term. Some of us have not. Today, I sit before you as the chair. And I have found myself as the chair going to pretty much every committee meeting as time has allowed me to. And yet I find myself going to every meeting and often writing minutes for multiple committees because they have not been submitted in time or because no one has been designated to take these minutes. This letter inspired me to become a community board member. However, what I am noticing now is that we need to do better. It is disheartening to see the amount of issues we have with quorum on our committees. It is embarrassing, truthfully, that we are sitting here to do good work for 120,000 people and we just can't get it done. Meetings getting canceled because we don't have an agenda item, unacceptable. Logging on from home just because you don't want to come here, unacceptable. We all have responsibilities. We all have families. We all have jobs. And if we're going to be on this board, we have to commit to doing the work. Whether we agree with each other or not, whether we like each other or not, there is work that needs to be done and we've got to get it together. That's all I'm going to say on that issue. Now, in response to this issue, the only thing I can think of at this point to try and make things better, and we've discussed it at leadership several times, is the issue of combining committees. There are several committees that have perhaps 2 to 3 people on them. And sometimes getting those 2 to 3 people to come is like pulling teeth. So I think it's time that we seriously consider combining some committees. I did receive a suggestion from someone for a clean and green committee, meaning parks and sanitation. It's something for us to talk about. It's something for us to consider. I am open to other suggestions, but we've got to do this. Any questions? John?
I was just going to say that I think maybe the time for remote for members is over. Maybe we can have, you know, if people who are going to speak who are not members or people, you know, maybe we could have it for that. But I think remote is over. That's my opinion. For members.
Agreed, agreed. Anyone else? All right, so I guess anyone online? Sorry. A reminder, board members who are online, in order to count towards the quorum, you have to have your cameras on.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Chair, am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
So, on the first issue of the remote, I think legally the remote is until next year. So I don't know if we can do that, but I just wanted to put that out there. And number two, in terms of the committee meetings, I'm in agreement with oh, okay, sure. You want me to sing? No. I feel that first I was saying that I think the remote is legally acceptable until next year. Number two, I wanted to talk about combining the committees. I think that is a great idea. But how can we work together, or should we designate a couple of people to kind of go through the committees and see which ones need to be combined? I know it was communicated to me that Community Board 12 has combined all the committees to 3 to handle the work of the community. So how can we work together to do this? So that's my question.
I know Jeremy and I have been working on a draft kind of working document for the bylaws committee. I don't know if we can, I don't want to create another committee, but perhaps working through bylaws with bylaws. If some people want to participate that way, that can be a start. I'm open to other ideas if anyone has any, but otherwise it's just something for us to, oh, and as far as online component, you are correct. It is, you know, legally we can do online. I think we just need to keep reminding folks that online is supposed to be only for extenuating circumstances. So do you want? Right.
If they're not in person, then they should be counted at that.
Okay, Oral?
One, two, can you hear me? So I have a different, can you hear me now? I have a different look at this. At where I work, we now have a lot of our meetings are remote. And we have more attendance than we ever had before. Because it allows people who have kids, who are disabled, who have accessibility issues getting around to actually attend the meetings. And we have to admit, the future is here. And unfortunately, for many of us who are getting busier and busier and busier, I think the whole system needs to change where you can have remote, be able to vote remote with the cameras on, of course, and be able to participate more remote. And I know that a lot of people may not feel this way, but because of the remote, we've actually had more attendance than we ever had before. More people are showing up, more people are now voicing their opinions, because getting to somewhere or staying late has been very difficult in this era right now that we're in because of so much ability to get around and other issues coming up. So I think we need to look at it for the future. And I think that's my opinion. It's only my opinion now, not everyone's opinion, but I think remote is here. COVID set it in place. It's not going to change. That's it.
The only thing I will say is that in terms of accessibility, there is a proviso where if you are disabled, you can attend remotely and still count towards the quorum. Just FYI. Debbie?
Doing remote for work related is a totally different apple versus an open meetings where you have the public. So it would not be a 100% remote type of thing. And the hybrid, no, it's absolutely two different things when you're talking about a work meeting versus an open laws meeting where you have the community to be engaged. So it's two different apples.
Thank you, Debbie. Now, in response to what Veronica and Hazel just mentioned, is someone interested in making a motion regarding the online requirement, or do we want to wait?
I think maybe we give it a little time and let people think about it and seriously consider whether or not remote option should still be on. I personally don't think it should be. I think we're all capable of coming in, and those who have accessibility issues understandably can join remote. But I feel, and I've said this many times for many months, that there's abuse of the remote option, and it's causing quorum issues and it's causing other issues. So I think take the time and then we can vote on it at leadership, the next leadership meeting, and then bring it to the full board if necessary. But I think we should think about it.
Thank you. Wendy?
Is it on? It's on? Okay. So, I acknowledge what everyone is saying. Yes, Oral, we are in the days of remote, but I'm looking at it a little differently. I think part of the problem is the substance and what's on the agenda and what's not on the agenda. What's being talked about, the real business of the community versus what's not being talked about. And I think we need to, each committee, I know especially for my committee, land use, we're looking at things a lot differently as workshops, because this community, because of so much development set to happen, I find that there's a lot of talking and everyone seems to be an expert in something, but they're not an expert at anything. So I think part of the problem is committees need to really figure out what the issues are within the community that is assigned to that particular committee and really talk about the issues, because that's not what's being discussed. So, in business, if you're not talking about anything, people are not going to show up to your meeting. And that's what you're seeing. So it's not about having it remote versus non-remote. It's about what the information that you're disseminating out there to the community and who's coming to the meeting to educate the masses.
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. And actually, thank you for mentioning that because I did want to say one other thing as far as our committee chairs. I think that it's super important that our committee chairs communicate with their committee members. I find that sometimes what can happen is that a committee chair will decide, you know, this is the topic we're going to discuss. And maybe it might be better if there's a conversation with the committee. What do you guys think we should address this month? Do you have any ideas for me? Do you have any suggestions? And if there's something that can be kind of laid out in advance, a couple of months in advance, like Naomi's done with ethics, for example, then at least everyone is on the same page and everyone will be more motivated to actually attend the meeting because everyone feels like they're actually a part of the committee and making a change and making a difference. Katie.
So I left them all off initially because I apparently didn't bring enough batteries. I'm just worried about it dying. So you can leave it on for now. A double A.
So I just want to make a statement about the whole remote thing. So I'm a clinician at heart, and so hearing about the fact that, you know, we're making assumptions, we're making opinions, speculations about why people are not coming in, I think it's better if we just get the actual data and get the information from the actual board members of why they're not coming in. I think we need more information before we start making motions and voting on things without even knowing what's really going on. Well, you know, half the members have issues and concerns and things that are going on that's preventing them from coming to the meetings. And there are other contributing factors. And I think to just be part of a board and we don't even know what's really going on, have any data to make any decisions on, we're just not giving people a fair opportunity. I think we need to get information first. You know, this from a PI, performance improvement perspective, you're trying to fix a problem, you need to get more information first to find out what the real issues are. Because just saying, oh, you know, we're abusing the system and we're not, you know, accusing people of things, you don't know that for a fact. And I think to respect each other and to respect the board, we need to kind of, I don't know who's going to do it, but trying to find out more information about why people are not coming in and find out how we can address those issues. First of all, if there's something that can be addressed. And then maybe if collectively we have a large volume of people who have the same type of issues, we can maybe put together some interventions to help those individuals. I mean, if we want things to get better and for us to all be on one same accord, we really need to get more information about why the problem is what it is.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks. Maybe one of the things we can do is send out a survey. It's something we can talk about. Jeanette, who was first, Jeanette or Naomi? All right, we have 46 seconds. Let's make it a minute or two, Jeanette.
So very quickly, I believe that we are all here because it is our role to represent, advocate, and speak and service the community. If the lack of quorum prevents us from doing that repeatedly, then we have to address that issue. Because if a lack of quorum means that we can't serve the community, and that's the reason for us being here, and this happens week after week and month after month, that is a serious issue, because then why are we here? So I'm not opposed to finding out what the reasons are, but we know the basic fact is we're here to serve the community, and if we can't make quorum, we can't do our jobs. Thank you.
Naomi's the last one.
Be really quick. Hello, I'll be really quick. We are asking for a commitment from our committee members, but we also have to make a commitment to the committee members. And a lot of the complaints is the organization of the meetings, how long the meetings take, and the substance. So, you know, I agree with Katie Ann that we need data, like what is actually the problem. And I think a lot of the issue is that we're not making commitments as well. You know, that things change, things go this way, that way. And I think we need to just get a structure where people know and understand how the meeting goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the treasurer's report. Wait, sorry. Oh, sorry. Senator Rivera would like to speak.
But I guess, thank you, Bob.
for something. Good evening to everyone. That good? It looks like you're running like, are you the sound guy for the Stones or something? Like, that's just a lot of stuff over there. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Again, Gustavo Rivera, State Senator of the 33rd District. I will be quick since obviously you have a lot of business to get through. Want to remind everybody, I'm sure everybody already knows, but remember that that the election is on Tuesday, but there's early voting on right now until Sunday. Make sure that you vote, and importantly, flip the ballot over. I found in the conversations I've been having with constituents and voters all across the state, I found that a lot of people, probably nobody in this room, but many of your neighbors, many of your friends, many of your family members might not know, need to flip the ballot over. There are a series of propositions there, 6 of them. One relates to the New York State Constitution, and it is to add protections against discrimination for age, disability, pregnancy, et cetera, as well as enshrining abortion rights. And 2 to 6 are only in the city of New York, and they refer to expansion of mayoral power. Certainly you should do your research. I will be voting yes on the first one, no on the next 5, but certainly do your research and at least flip the ballot over. There is, I'm sure that you all know Jasmine Torreblanca, Jasmine, my community affairs representative who's here with you. She probably put some flyers over there. We have both a WhatsApp messaging thing, like these kids live in the future, so they wanted to do a WhatsApp thing. If you speak Spanish, we actually have a WhatsApp thing which gives you all of the events that we're doing on a pretty regular basis, as well as a newsletter. That one is in English, and it gives you all the events that my office is doing. And to remind you that my offices, which are 2432 Grand Concourse, 187th in the Concourse, we have a bunch of housing and immigration clinics that we do. We work with different organizations to provide legal assistance to individuals who might need it on issues of both housing and immigration. So please be in contact with our office. That was it. I just wanted to make sure that I provided some general updates. It's been a while since I've been here, so I wanted to come by. And you have Jasmine here, who's nicer than me anyway. And before I forget, once again, thank you, Bob, for something. I don't know what. Anyway, that's me. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Senator. Chair's report.
Hi, the Treasury's report has been submitted to the staff and will be posted on the website. It's still fairly simple right now because we're at the beginning of the new fiscal year, but if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me.
Secretary's report.
Hi, okay. September, I'm so sorry. No, I got it. Harriet and I have been really working very, very hard to finalize all of our minutes. As you know, she was out for a little bit and I kind of lost some of my notebooks, but we did get it together finally. And those past minutes will be published as soon as possible. Everybody hopefully got September's minutes and read them and sent in whatever corrections were needed. So I make a motion that the minutes for September's full board are approved. And I have a thank you. Do we have any discussions?
So motion by Hazel, seconded by Veronica.
Let me write that down before I forget. That's
Oh, Joe, did you want to say something or did you just want a second? Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any abstentions? Does anybody not agree with our motion? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to the district manager's report.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so the email that Cynthia was talking about earlier from the borough board meeting was sent out on the 21st, the day I got it. So if you need it resent, let us know. It's the 21st, it's about the SLA. Bally's, so some of you have been invited to Bally's, the golf course, what formerly known as Trump Links. There's a proposal to make that a casino. So we're going to try to come to our land use committee meeting. I think that's what they did with Community Board 9. It's not in our district, it's in Community Board 10, but it affects, it's going to be affecting the district, or it's going to be maybe good or bad for the grants. So they would like to invite us to a meeting. Hold on, I'm just trying to, there it is. So I don't know if anyone is interested for this coming Monday, 6:37. If so, I can write, I mean, anybody want to do that? All right, so then let me know. So this is Bally's, formerly known as Trump Links, the golf course over by Ferry Point Park. Cynthia and I went to a presentation. I think Hazel and Joe Thompson went, represent the precinct, community council and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know. I don't want to waste too much time here. Please see me after the meeting. Cloudburst survey, I did get these surveys. So this is primarily affecting Morris Park. So if anybody wants, I left some surveys there. You want to pass it around, one in English, one in Spanish. I did say you should get some in Arabic. It's a project that's not going to start till 2026 to my knowledge. June minutes will correct. Thank you for pointing that out. We obviously didn't vote on those. Public safety, somebody suggested public safety combined with parks or economic development. I think either one would make, I know some people have raised concerns about economic development, how long that meeting would last. I don't totally understand that concern, but that's something else to think about. I'll leave that as it for now.
Moving on to committee reports, starting with leadership committee.
Hey guys, can you hear me? We chatted about a few things. Quorum was one of them. The chair spoke about that. Next, we chatted about the new business items. We didn't have quorum at leadership, so we moved the two new business items, A and B, to the end of this meeting. So please stay with us if you can. And that's all for leadership.
Thank you. Bylaws?
We have not met, but you asked me to schedule a meeting, which I'm trying to do for next month. I've already notified the people on the committee. I have not heard back from everybody, but we will meet on the second Tuesday of November at 6 o'clock to discuss any proposal that you may have. That's one.
Thank you, Sandy. Just to circle back for a second on the Cloudburst project, please, everyone, try to take a look at it, educate yourselves on it, and fill out the surveys, just so that we can all have our individual input on the surveys. Sandy?
What I need to get from you is you have to announce the proposal this meeting. It has to be announced. David reminded me.
I'm sorry, which one?
Any proposals that you may have for the bylaws have to be announced at this meeting.
Got it. Thank you, Sandy. Community development and budget priorities.
Community development and budget priorities. We had a meeting this month. We didn't talk about a whole lot because we're busy filling out our community district needs survey. That's due October 31st. It's something that we do every year. And we didn't get a whole lot of board participation this year. This is one of the very important probably one of the most important aspects of the community board. It's one of the few tasks that we do that are enumerated. Every year, we're supposed to send that in. Other than that, we're just supposed to have a full board meeting throughout the year and elect officers. So this is one of the very few things that we are required to do as a board. It's very important. And to try and increase participation, I'm going to, in the spring and March, I'm going to send out each committee chair our need statement from this year and the descriptions that are community descriptions for each committee area. So there's a description on how our health services are, on how our education is, on how our transportation and transit is. So each committee chair in their relevant area will get our fiscal year 26 description, and then we'll be asking for you to return that with any updates or suggestions that you might have for fiscal year 27. I'm going to send it out in the spring so that I make sure that it gets out. We don't get any personnel or changes in board membership surprises like we had this past year. And again, we really ask for your support. This is how we tell the city what we need and where we need money spent. So this is one of the most important ways to use your voice on this board. And that's it.
Thank you, Ryan. Economic Development? Oh, the renewal, the license renewal that's on the agenda that's out of our district, so.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Juan.
Oh, hi. So first and foremost, I apologize for appearing remotely. As the chair said, we do have one renewal license that we would like to make a motion for the board to approve. Generally.
Juan?
Yes, can you hear me?
The bowler's ball, you mean?
Yes.
No, that's out of our district. That's CB12. Don't worry about it.
Great. So so then we don't have anything to report.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Education?
Got it. So with Mary leaving us, I'm the co-chair, so we're going to try to have elections at our next meeting. And I've put it on the record, I am not going for chair. So please, someone, please, you got my support, but. And I do also have scheduled the vice president of special education from the UFT that day coming to talk about special ed. I'm going to send it to you.
Wendy, I forgot to mention our news, so I'll give it to you to mention it. I mean, as an education item, the email we received today. So Wendy submitted a proposal with the Fund for the City of New York to have a second-year graduate student do 2 semesters at the community board to work on a particular project. So Wendy got the news today. We will be having a graduate student doing some work on the community board, which I think is awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Ethics and disciplinary.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Naomi Pemberton. I am one of the chairs of the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. And I have a few announcements. First, we had a great presentation from Orlando Torres from the Human Rights Department from the City of New York. So please, if you can, review the video. It was a really good presentation. I'm assuming that the slides were sent out and the QR code. I didn't see it, but if it hasn't, please, if you could send it out because he gets credit from this QR code. The other item, I'm going to be doing a presentation on Robert Rules of Order. Okay? For obvious reasons. Okay. I'm trying to decide to do it November or January, so just look out for that. We are going to be reviewing case 116 next month. So if you want to come and participate in that, you can. 116. I have two motions. My first motion is no seating time. My second motion is I need a date for the grassroots service event. Either November 14th or November 23rd, I think.
So the seating of time thing is, so you want the board to vote on that tonight, or you can, first of all, since you brought up, that's a great thing. If there's something you want the board as a whole to do, start doing it in your committee, start enacting stuff in your committee. So, if you want it, so you want everybody to vote on that?
On no seating time.
Okay.
And the motion, also the motion for the date for the service. We already motioned and agreed on doing a service for grassroots, but I need a date so I can let him know. Yes, they're Saturday mornings between 9 and 11.
So just the seating of time, do you want that maybe in the bylaws too? Do you want to make it, I don't know.
Yes.
I
and
know,
that's
I know it has to be in writing to the chair.
Yes.
But maybe
and
that's something they can review.
Yes, I did already. I sent an email to bylaws and to the chair.
Send it out to bylaws.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I have to get the proposal directly from Cynthia.
From Cynthia. Okay, so I sent it out.
Because you
Yes.
understand.
Well, yeah, so like you said earlier, she just has to publicly announce it. I don't know if you have it available, but.
Now, do you want a time limit? Do you want no seating at all?
No seating at all. And of course, it could be modified by everybody here, but
Something-
I want no seating. Period. Meaning like giving other people your time. So 10 other people your time.
I don't think we ever had like language specifically. Do you know what I mean?
Giving up your time to someone else to speak.
Do we want to, for the right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the concern that Cynthia had is you sent it, you want it, but it wasn't clear to be a bylaw proposal. Maybe we can give it and review it in your committee?
Which?
The no seating of time. So basically, when somebody speaks in the gallery and they want to give their time, they don't want to speak, they want to give their time to somebody else.
I brought this up over several years.
Yeah, it's.
And I don't know what happened.
We haven't had a problem with it lately. Doesn't mean we won't in the future though, right?
It's just, it'll just be an add-on to that. But
Sorry, I mute you and this is what this is about. I just muted myself, okay?
Okay, so we will discuss it and hopefully I can get everyone on the committee. And if anybody else wants to join in, let me know. But I was also, my other thought was, and I'm just throwing it out now because I'll bring it up for discussion, is to set a limit in the gallery session, a time limit, or maybe only 30 minutes set aside for the whole gallery session. And once we reach it, that's it.
That's a motion you're making?
I would add on to it, yeah.
Oh, you'll add on to it. Okay.
Yeah, I would just have it as a motion, yeah.
So that's two motions.
Yeah. But we'll bring it, I was gonna bring it up in bylaws.
Okay.
So
So we'll
that's
add
part
both-
of the seating of minutes
Sorry.
or time.
Can you just repeat that? Cause
My,
you wanna.
all right, what I said is I was
Gallery session for 30 minutes?
right, the whole gallery session. So you could maybe limit then if it's 2 minutes each, possibly only 10 speakers with a little leeway if needed.
You got that? Got
And the
it?
seating of time?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
A date for grassroots. So you had November
16th. I'm sorry, yeah, November 16th, 23rd, or 30th. The 23rd.
I
No,
can do
I'm
the
sorry, I was
16th.
wrong.
I was wrong.
Hello? Oh. No, no problem. November 16th, November 23rd, or November 30th? Wait, oh, I gotta.
Has anyone expressed an interest in volunteering to do food distribution with grassroots in November on one of the dates that Naomi mentioned?
I'm sorry, wait a second, I gotta check something. Yeah, let me, I'm sorry, I apologize.
8 a.m. till about
I'm
1
sorry.
p.m.
I'm sorry, December 14th, November 16th. Okay, they're all Saturdays between 9 and 11. I'm sorry, he gave me specific dates, sorry, 1 second. I'm looking for it right now.
Is it a stationary food distribution? Or is it
You
a
can,
pack?
you can do one of two things. You can go there and just do like packing up, packing the bags or the boxes. Or you can help with the packing and then load up your car and do a drop off somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the dates. I apologize. To correct the minutes, it's November 23rd or November 30th. Those are the two dates he gave me. I could do it 30, 23rd. Okay, so do we do a vote or like? How do you wanna? Okay, so those in favor of November 23rd, please raise your hand.
Motion to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I motion for us to do the grassroots service event, November 23rd. Who?
Second, I second.
Okay.
Rich. All those opposed?
All those opposed? Okay, so
So
November
moved.
23rd, thank you.
Health and Social Services? Sandy? Your turn.
Sorry.
Health, your report.
Oh, my report. Okay, sorry about that. We had a wonderful speaker once we got our pseudo TV on because one went out, but it was Anthony from the Black Nurses Association. He gave a wonderful presentation about what the organization does, how it operates. And I also sent out the flyer to you, which he sent me, which is on the board. They were having a seminar about prostate cancer. And it's also, I noticed, you could do it remotely. You don't have to be in person present. And I think that's a good idea. And we also decided, I let them know that I did ask Bronx House for a date, and May 18th, once I send in the application, I have to sign it and get it in, will be the day of the health fair. So it won't be, hopefully we will not have another heat wave, and it will be earlier and get a good turnout. So if anyone knows of any organization or people who would like to be at the health fair, please either let them know at the board or let me know, and we'll get in touch. So
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Housing?
And
Sorry, go ahead.
In November, I will have someone from the Echo Free Health Clinic, and they offer their services for free throughout the Bronx. And they offer services to anyone who needs it, who does not have funds or is not insured. So it's something that people may want to hear what they do.
All right. For housing, we discussed the Fine Fair project and why it wasn't moving in terms of construction. Thank you, Diana Finch, for sending over the remediation plan. As you know, there was a mechanics at that location, so they're fixing the substances underneath to construct on top of it. So it's been delayed a bit. There's a new timeline. We'll send it around so folks can see what the new timeline is. Also, we discussed the City of Yes for housing. As you know, it passed their subcommittee. It's now at City Council for discussion. There's a lot of workshops going around. So if you're interested or want to learn more, please chat with your City Council person or log into one of the workshops. And that's all, I think, right, Juanita?
Sorry, we did also mention about the PAC program that's in Eastchester Gardens. I did speak to Danny, one of the representatives, and I know we talked about combining with housing and land use.
Yes.
So he's just waiting for us to give him any dates for next month to come and represent at one of the
Thank you.
Land use?
Okay, land use. Hello, can everyone hear me? No.
I thought you're the chair. All right, well, that's on, it's on.
Okay, great. What day was our land use meeting? Monday, right? Yeah, can everyone hear me? Okay, we had a land use meeting on, I think, the 28th on Monday to discuss some of the objectives that we want to really try to start moving forward with the land use committee and making sure we have enough people on board on the committee to look at issues that are coming up in our neighborhood as far as construction, zoning. And maybe it's a really good idea to combine some of these issues with City of Yes and housing. So at the meeting, we discussed a few of the objectives that we're planning to try to start with the land use, meeting more and trying to get more information on what's being built in our community so we can really inform you guys about what's happening and what's being built and some of the proposals that are being made. But we were, I am right now what they call the standing chair. I really can't be the chair. So we had a little vote or had a discussion about the new chair. And right now we're going to Naomi, we're going to vote her in as the as a Wendy, sorry. I'm getting confused. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. But Wendy, she accepted the position to be chair of our land use committee. And I think she's great because she knows a lot about housing. She knows a lot about zoning. She's very informed about the whole issue of what's going on in our community. And I'll stay the co-chair with her because of my background as you know as an architect. So we're going to if everyone knows that I say that enough already. So everyone you know, anyone who wants to join our committee, I think it'll be really cool for everyone to know what's going on and what's being built and some of the proposals that are happening or being proposed for our community. That's it, right, Jeremy? I think. Anything else?
See you guys.
Okay, Naomi, you want to Wendy, you want to I'm getting this is not good. Wendy? Wendy, you good? Okay. Thank you, everyone. All right, that's it.
Chair, can I speak?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I text grassroots so they can't do the 23rd anymore.
Okay.
The 30th. Okay.
I'm in.
Motion for 11/30, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed?
I did.
Okay, motion.
Moving on to parks.
We didn't have a meeting, so nothing to report.
Oh, right. Oh, and is it, who's here from public? Okay. All right.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Of course, we didn't have quorum. And from what I understand, this is a committee that usually didn't have quorum, which is really a shame because public safety is so important to this community. And I know we have the precinct council meetings, but that's separate from the community board. And I mean, we had guests on, but I really wish that more people would really show up, especially the committee members. We did have the captain there and he went and gave, he provided a lot of important information. So I was happy about that, but we didn't have quorum, but I wanted to have the meeting anyway because, I mean, it was very embarrassing to have the commanding officer of the precinct and not have any of, have two committee members there and not have quorum, but I didn't want him to waste his time. And I still, asked him to make a presentation, which he did. We're very lucky to have him. He's really a nice guy. And our community affairs officers, we just got a new one. I can't remember his name because he has a really strange name. But he seems like a really nice guy. So I'm hoping that he works well with us, which I'm sure he will. And we are going to be losing Kiana Bell. No, not losing her. She's going on maternity leave. And I'm hoping that she only takes 1 month off because we absolutely love her. Not that Hall, Hall is also amazing. I have been working with the precinct for a very long time, more than 30 years. And I have to tell you, these have been the best community affairs officers we have had, and I have been through a bunch of them. And well, Jay, what can you say about Jay? I mean, come on, he was the best. But like I said, I've been through a lot of them and we really have a good team now. So hopefully, she'll just, come back as soon as possible. So like I said, please, 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 if you're on the public safety or you want to get on public safety, come to the meetings. Thank you.
Hazel, it's Dominique.
Officer Dominique.
Officer Dominique. Next up is sanitation.
For composting. That was effective, I believe, October the 6th. So please, if you are not doing so, please, please, please compost. They will give you fines. The Department of Sanitation is slowly changing their rules on pickup in the bins. So you still have time to buy the black bins that has the city logo on it. We have some information at the office. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell Jeremy and the team to bring some information in for you guys, but we will circulate that. That is extremely important. You have until 2026 to buy the bins. You have the black bins and you have the green bins. I think there's like 2 other bins or 1 other bins, brown bins. So just make sure that you have your bins. I will try to work with our chair to see if it's possible. I know the trash cans are like $56 or something like that, and that may be not economically feasible to certain folks. So we want to see if we can work with the Department of Sanitation or maybe the mayor's office or maybe city council to see if we can do some type of waiver. So, we're working on that behind the scenes. Oh, DEP will be at our next meeting. The reason for this is that, I speak for myself, but, for homeowners who are really challenged with water and sewer, the price has increased. For those who are having issues keeping up with the bills, I think this is a great opportunity to discuss certain incentives that DEP may have for homeowners or for anyone who's struggling with water and sewer. I also asked for Con Edison. So Jeremy and I are trying to find a rep that's able to talk about certain incentives and maybe HRA to come in We can't be too prideful of wanting a one-shot deal when needed, right? Because the percents are increasing slowly but surely. So we just want to make sure that the community is being taken care of and that their needs are being taken care of. So please tap into that meeting. DEP will be there, I believe, November 13th. Jeremy, is that the day?
I think so.
Yes. I think it's
We
November
got to
13th.
publish the new calendar tomorrow.
Okay.
But in terms of the Con Ed thing, because when we're talking, maybe it's a social service issue.
Oh,
because we
yes,
talk about
so-
HRA, so maybe we can, are you interested in having a meeting about that, Sandy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, okay, we'll talk about it then.
Thank you.
Moving on to transportation, Rabbi?
Hi, hi, hi. Hi, good evening, everybody. At our last transportation meeting, we had the wonderful MTA attend, and we had the council member attend, and they gave us an update on what's doing with the new Morris Park Station. The good news I could tell you is there will be a bathroom there. There will be a newsstand there, and apparently there's going to be some security by MTA police. The in-between news is they're still not answering questions about transportation, and the one that we brought up specifically was the little jitney that goes around in Riverdale to get people picked up and taken to their respective stops in Riverdale. So apparently we're waiting for an answer on that. And when we get an answer on that, hopefully our community will be happy to hear that maybe a jitney will pick everybody up and everybody will be able to go all different ways, through a jitney, through a bicycle, you could walk, you could run, but that will be good. I think they said everything should be ready by 2027, 2028, around that time. But knowing the wonderful MTA, that maybe if you see between 2038, maybe you'll be happy. But I'm cautiously confident it's actually going to happen. I think it's going to be a good thing for the community. And I actually had one question, which I hope I'm not out of place. In regard to committee meetings, and I think I counted as 10 committees, 12 committees, is there any law or in a bylaw that you have to meet every month? If you somehow divided that 6 of them meet 1 month, 6 the next month, and with all these issues of people attending and the winter coming and the snow coming, which maybe it won't come this year, hopefully, can a committee decide to meet every 2 months, or could the board vote on meeting every 2 months? And the caveat I would put to that, unless there is a distinct emergency that they have to meet every month. So that maybe would increase attendance and quorum, so on and so forth. And I just want to make sure Oral's an architect. I'm not so sure. I really want to make sure. I keep on hearing he's an architect. Oral, could I see your degree one day just to make sure you're an architect? Okay, thank you. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you. What answer? We have to meet every.
I was gonna open it up for a brief discussion.
I don't think there is a time, a rule in place. I think if we do not get participation up, we may need to do that. I think what the chair's idea is a good idea. Let's kind of get more participation as best we can for the next month or two, and then maybe go down that route. I don't want to go, and I'm sort of the hard line on this. I don't want to start kicking folks out the board for not attending. I think as much as we come to these meetings and want to hope for the best, we know what we signed up for. We're all adults, and we shouldn't be pulling teeth for folks to get here. I've been here for a while now, and I show up to most meetings. I try to anyway. Not to say you have to be like me, but we sign up to be here, and I think if folks can't make it for whatever reason, let the chair know, let the exec team know. But I think maybe doing things every other month may work, but if not, then we're gonna have to kick folks off the board. That's my opinion, anyway.
Why isn't it
Okay. Why isn't it an option if you're having problems with attendance, particularly pertaining to the committees? That's where this idea of virtual meetings might be helpful. So while the board meetings, like this one, might be in person, maybe where there's a struggle with attendance with the meetings in between, especially for those who want to participate in more than one committee, a virtual meeting might bring attendance up because you can log in from anywhere.
So the only problem with virtual attendance is that there's an open meetings law that we have to follow. So even with our committee meetings, there has to be a quorum in person in order to do, even to hold the meeting technically, so that if we do virtual, then we wouldn't have an in-person quorum.
No, I just, to this, okay. After this.
So, I mean, so long story short, I'll look into it and get back to you. How's that? All right, I'll look on the legalities of it, but Kadera, she's right. Legally, state law requires us to have a quorum in person.
Jeremy, could I respond to Mr. Vice Chairman? I respond to him? Is that okay?
Sure. And then Naomi.
And this is not being difficult, but I'm just saying, Mr. Vice Chairman, if you have 12 meetings and you have holidays and you have holiday shopping and you have pressure from children, I just think the odds, I'm just going with odds, of going to 6 meetings a year over 12 meetings a year, I think would allow people to participate better. I might be wrong, Mr. Vice Chairman, but that's my feeling. Thank you.
I completely agree with you. I think if we don't get participation up, we should move it to every other month or some sort of, well, we need to discuss it. It's not me saying anything by decree here, but yeah, I agree with you 1000%. We shouldn't do anything drastic without weighing the options.
Correct. Thank you.
I'll come to you in a second, Debbie. My only, as I stated before, when I applied for the board, the expectation is about 20 hours a week. 20 hours a month. And to then say, well, I can't even make 20 hours a month, then why apply for the board? Excuse me. Debbie?
Yep.
Yeah, as far as like with the open meetings law, it has, you have to have the public area for people who cannot attend virtually to be able to attend, which is then also why we have to have quorum in person. So that's why just doing a virtual meeting would not work. And second, that's also one of the reasons why I push for blending, joining some of the meetings. Like sanitation and transportation. Alternates, I've said it many times before, sanitation, deals with alternate side of the street, but what is alternate side of the street affecting? Your car. So, certain things need to be merged together.
I think Naomi.
Okay, so
She got it.
hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did text Grassroots. Yes. And they cannot accommodate us in November. They're packed, they're full. That's good. That's great. Awesome. So the next dates is December 14th. I make a motion that we can do the service event on December 14th, 2024.
I second. Yeah, I second the motion.
Okay, anyone opposed? Thank you. This will be the last time.
Hazel has one final thought.
Yeah, the only issue that I have with that is sanitation was one of those other committees that first, and they didn't really meet that many times as far as I know, and they didn't have quorum. So even if you combine two committees, that does not resolve your quorum issue. And that's what I've been trying to say all along. You can combine sanitation and transportation, but if sanitation doesn't show up, there's no quorum. So that's not a resolution.
That's true.
Yeah, but
Starting to show up.
if, yeah, that's my only argument.
We pulling the dates.
Oh, okay.
But there's still debate going on about combining committees and stuff. No, we were, that wasn't the conversation. The conversation was regarding, maybe news. It wasn't that.
I thought that's what Hazel was talking about though, right?
Oh, that's the next one.
Oh, virtual.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
okay, we have to move on. We can continue these conversations offline and debate separately. Moving on to the elected officials. Bronx Borough President's Office.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Do you mind coming up and grabbing it real quick?
Welcome to CP11.
Yeah. Thank you. Is this on? Yeah, it's on. All right.
You have 2 minutes.
Wait till I get to the podium. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Tribune. I'm with the Office of the Bronx Borough President. I know Kenny usually comes. He couldn't make it tonight, but he sends his apologies and his love. But I have a couple announcements for you all. The first one is that our community boards unit is opening applications to become a community board member in November. So if anyone here knows anyone that would want to be a community board member, make sure to let them know and check our website. The second is I wanted to let you all know that the borough president, along with Speaker Hasty and Assemblymember Septimo, have allocated $6 million for the Bronx's first full-service recovery center just a couple weeks ago. This center will serve as a one-stop shop, tripling the number of patients currently being treated for opioid use disorder in the South Bronx, and I think it's very needed. The only other things I have to tell y'all is we have some events coming up, lots of Halloween stuff. So I put flyers over there. You can pick one up if you're interested. But we have a Halloween party tomorrow hosted by our LGBTQIA+ task force. It's going to be from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Near the 170th Street Metro Station, and you can find more details there. If you have kids and want to do something with your kids, the 40th Precinct is having a safe Halloween street and treats event, also tomorrow from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're also hosting a shop for high schools. This is for middle schoolers who want to look at high schools. That's going to be hosted on Friday, November 8th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at PS/MS20. Thank you. Which is near the Botanical Garden. And then the last thing is we're hosting a chess championship at PS70 on December 7th. You can find more information about that on our poster. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you spell your last name for me?
Sure. Trabue. Thank you.
The Shout Out High School, you said November 8th. Sorry.
Yes, it is November 8th.
And PS, is it 20?
PS20.
So he can email me and I can distribute to the board.
Councilmember Feliz.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My apologies that I am online, and again, my apologies for not assisting September's board meeting. But updates that we are having from our office is that we are having our annual turkey giveaway on November 25th at Rose Hill Park in Webster Avenue. I know it's a little bit farther from the community board, but everybody is welcome. And again, my name is Esperanza Diaz from the Office of Councilmember Feliz, if I didn't mention that before. And of course, that's like one of the only updates that we are currently having at the moment. For September that I didn't mention before, Councilmember Feliz actually wrote a letter to the NYPD requesting more police presence in the 44th. Sorry, my apologies, for the 46th, 48th, and 44th, precinct councils. 52nd, my apologies, oh my gosh. 52nd precinct council. And, you know, although it's a little bit further again, but it's still like a push over to the 49th precinct, which touches over to Community Board 11. We are currently located at 573 East Fordham Road, and you guys can also reach out to our office at 718-842-8100.
Thank you. Councilmember Marmorato's office. Nope. Councilmember Riley's office. Yeah, come, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yep. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Bolt from Councilmember Kevin C. Riley's office. Just a few updates for tonight. First, I just want to start off with participatory budgeting. The council member has allocated $1 million to go towards a project chosen by the community. You guys are welcome to submit your ideas for idea collection at rnd.council.nyc.gov/idea map. That's rnd.council.nyc.gov/idea map. In terms of upcoming events, we are hosting a Uptown Nonprofit Huddle Resource Fair alongside Coach T from Bronx Collab. That will be taking place this Friday, November 1st from 12 to 4 at 4101 White Plains Road. That's the Community Board 12 building. Another event we have coming up is our Veteran Resource Fair. That will be taking place Saturday, September 9th, starting at 10, and that will be taking place 30 seconds at 31. That will be taking place at Einstein Loop. The address for that is 135 Einstein Loop, room 4. And I think that's all in terms of events.
Thank you. Mayor's office.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all. I'm Alina Dow. I'm the Bronx Borough Director for the Mayor's Community Affairs. For some of the new people, welcome. I wanted to share that I did bring some lit. It's over there. This is some of the accomplishments of the mayors. I know that we're coming down to the end of the year, so I did want to share that 7,800 New Yorkers have been moved off the subways and into the shelters. We have approximately 30% drop in Black and Latino unemployment. In addition, 18,000 guns, illegal guns, have been removed from the streets, and 1,200 illegal smoke shops were shut down. So I know that sometimes you don't know all the stuff that's going on, so we wanted to make sure, the mayor said that the year is coming to the end so that you're able to see it, and sometimes it's easier to understand when you see it. So I did put some lit on the table. In addition, by November, 70% of the trash will be moved into container bins. I did just want to make sure that you understood that that is for single families to 12 unit buildings. So it hasn't started for the big jumbo buildings as of yet, but for single families up to 12 units, that is what's going to be moving forward with the containers. In addition to that, the mayor is hosting his Back to Breaking Bread Building Bonds. I know I told you guys about this last year. So almost all of the precincts are going to be holding some. The 49th precinct is actually having theirs on Friday. So it would be great if you guys were able to attend. If not, One Bronx. So you're able to go to other precincts and attend theirs as well. And then I did just want to share that I cover 6 community boards, and a lot of them have combined their different committees because of quorum. So, and it seems to be working out for some of them. So thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Controller's office. Public Advocate's office. Bronx District Attorney's office.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me good?
Okay, thank you. My name is Nina Norwood. I'm here representing the Bronx District Attorney's Office. So I do have a couple of announcements I would like to make. First, we are accepting applications for the upcoming Youth Advisory Council. So our registration deadline is going to be Friday, November the 8th. So we're encouraging the Bronx youth to come out. That's between the ages of 14 to 20. So for our next Youth Advisory Committee meeting, so we're going to be discussing civic engagement and civic literacy with our youth. So again, we'll have the flyers in the back is a QR code that the youth can scan, and it'll give them information on how to register for the upcoming Youth Advisory Council. And the flyers also come in English and in Spanish on the back as well. Next, in recognition of Trans Awareness Week, which is November the 13th through the 19th, the Bronx DA's office is collecting food perishables for the Thanksgiving giveaway. So the deadline for the donations is going to be Friday, November the 22nd. That's going to be at the Bronx DA building. That's 198 East 161st Street, and you can drop off the perishable food items in the lobby. They'll take everything from you right there. Security will take good care of you. On the back as well, we are celebrating the 36th annual New York Cares Coat Drive. So we are collecting coat donations. Please, no rips, tears, or damages, please. We want gently used coats to collect. We're also going to be collecting at the same address, 198 East 161st Street in the DA lobby building. Again, they'll take all donations from you and make sure that they're put away. Lastly, the DA is announcing a new initiative that's called Bronx CAMS. That's the Bronx Community Assisted Mapping System. This is for anyone who has personal private cameras, either ring cams or personal cams, where you can, it's completely voluntary. All information is strictly confidential, but it will assist law enforcement in being able to access any security footage needed or necessary to be able to assist in any open crimes. So this information is in the back. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Ocasio-Cortez's office. Representative Torres's office.
Joseph McManus, I'm representing Congressman Torres. I put my information in the chat, and I didn't put the address in because a lot of times we don't have people in the office to address your exact issue. So we feel it much better if you could call and make an appointment, and you'll be given good service. Anything that's a federal issue, we are experts on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Senator Bailey's office.
Hi, good evening. My name is Crystal Veras. I am online. I'm so sorry I didn't get to be there today in person. I started recently with Senator Bailey. The only news we have for right now is that we have a food distribution on November 8th, and then we are possibly having a Veterans Day event on November 18th. Location is to be determined because we're trying to make sure that it covers as much like geographical space as possible. So that will be emailed to everyone promptly. I will leave my information in the chat. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Senator Fernandez's office.
Hi, good evening. This is Tiffany from Senator Fernandez's office. Just to announce, we are doing our annual Food and Health Empowerment Fair. That's basically our food distribution event that will be happening on November 16th. I'm not sure. Yeah, location has not been determined yet, and we don't have flyers yet, so I will definitely be sending those as soon as those are available. And some other announcements, the Home Energy Assistance Program that's opening very soon on Friday, November 1st. The New York State Child Care Assistance Program, their funding has been expanded, and you can find more information on the state Office of Children and Family Services, the NYCHA portal for rental arrears. Those have been available in the NYCHA self-service portal starting on Thursday, October 17th. And the systems programs will cover rental arrears from March 2020 to May 2023, and will cover a total of 18 months. Definitely apply as soon as possible because this program is based on availability of funds. The heating law, heating has started from October 1st. It will last until May 31st of next year. So if you see any deviations, you're not getting heat, you're not getting hot water, definitely call 311. Let me see. The New York State Senate is having undergrad legislative session assistance program. The application is opening early November, and applicants are notified in late November of whether they've been accepted to the program. Our office has flyers if you are interested, and our office is located 3853 East Tremont Avenue, and our number is 718-822-2049. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Assemblymember Benedetto's office? Assemblymember Histi's office? Assemblymember Reyes' office? Assemblymember Zaccaro's office?
Hi all, this is Evan Weinberg with Assemblymember John Zaccaro's office. We're located at 2018 Williamsbridge Road. I will keep this short. One, we want to wish everybody a safe Halloween tomorrow. Please make sure that you are crossing the streets and, keeping safe. And right after Halloween, that means it's turkey time. And we are doing our Thanksgiving turkey giveaway outside of our office. Those dates will be Friday, the 22nd of November and Saturday, the 23rd of November. Feel free to call our office. There's no reservation needed, first come, first serve. Then on December 5th, we will be holding a meet the Department of Buildings representative. If you have violations, questions, issues with permits, this is the time to get those answers or have those issues taken care of. That is by appointment only, and the appointments are filling up fast. It'll be December 5th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Call our office to make an appointment. We are taking donations for toy drives and coat drives. You can call our office, 718-409-0109 for the specific dimensions, but it's similar to what the district attorney's office is, lightly used coats or brand new coats that you no longer need, as well as the toys, same thing, child age appropriate, still in the box.
30 seconds.
Again, thank you very much, and let's go Yankees.
Moving on, old business we took care of, yes? She was with Rivera's office. I think, okay. New business, Jeremy?
So there's a reason we don't do signatures on the sign-in sheets anymore. If some people recall, we got foiled for our sign-in sheets. Board members told me, do not give my signature out to this person or that person. So if you want to keep signing this, that's great, but you don't need to sign it. You don't need to initial it. The meeting is very well documented. If we know you, if we can see that you're not here. We have cameras, we have online registration. Please stop. I don't need your initials. We get foiled for this. It's a problem it's a pain in the rear to redact this stuff. But I'll just give it out. I mean, right?
Jeremy, did you want to go over the 36-hour registration requirement?
I mean, this came up at leadership, like Rich said, we didn't have a quorum. So the idea is that, so we have to publish our agendas 24 hours in advance. And technically, we can't discuss something if it's on the agenda. So that would naturally include the gallery, right? So the idea is next month at leadership, we'll have a quorum and we'll vote. And anybody who wants to speak at the full board needs to register 36 hours in advance. Reason for that is, a good example I gave at leadership is we had somebody who signed up. Luckily, they signed up in time. They didn't sign up with the slip right before the meeting. They wanted to speak about everything. That obviously didn't work for me, so I called the person. I figured out what was going, well, somebody told them to sign up and speak. It's an abuse of our time. We want to minimize it. There should be no surprises at the full board meeting. Not every community board allows the public to speak at a committee meeting. We do. We're the exception. Not every community board live streams their meetings. Not every community board WebExes their meetings. All right. So we do more than enough. So that's what we're looking at doing the 36-hour. That's why no surprises. All right. So that's for the gallery. Anything else? Chair? They want to discuss it now or later? No, we didn't because we have.
Is it in the bylaw?
We're gonna do it in leadership. We just want to put the
Oh,
public.
got it. Thank you. Street co-naming application for former board member Joe Rita.
So that's coming to the Transportation Committee next month. It's just FYI, right? When? No, this month was the MTA.
No, not yet. One more item. Debbie?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the mayor's. Yeah, I wanted to ask the mayor's office as to when they plan to have NYCHA participate in recycling, containerized garbage, composting, and all of that. And when is the plan for like you're saying 12 units plus, but sanitation's saying 9 units plus. When are they gonna be doing it? The containerized garbage and places like Co-op City. All of those places are the huge garbage places. Why are they going after the single homeowners and stuff like that?
Hi, Debbie. So I will say, as far as with NYCHA, we actually have a NYCHA liaison, so you can send me an email about that, and I'll just direct it to him so that he can answer the question directly, because I don't want to give you wrong information. And then we had a meeting on Monday, and we were told that it was from single families to 12 units, which 9 and 12, I mean, sometimes those are some of the shorter buildings. I know some of the larger buildings, and I think Co-op actually I think some of it takes care of their own. That's what we were told by like Parkchester and some of the bigger developments. So maybe that's what it is. But like I said, you contact me all the time for anything. So if there's any questions, I always share my contact information so that I can get you the exact information from the agency that'll provide it for you. So my number is 914-446-8393. And my email is Dowe, DOWE @cityhall.nyc.gov. So Debbie, any questions, just send it to me and let me get the agency to answer the question correctly for you. Okay? Anybody
you.
else?
Thank you.
Okay.
There's one last item. We received an email late this evening. I will read it to you for consideration. It is my honor and privilege to invite you and your leadership to give remarks at our annual candlelighting ceremony to be held on Saturday, November 30th, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Loretto Playground on Morris Park Avenue in the Bronx. We also would like the board to co-convene this important event within your district as it becomes a permanent annual event at this venue. The candlelighting ceremony is a welcoming announcement of the Peace Month, Peace December, since 2010. It's an occasion when community members, elected officials, law enforcement personnel, and other stakeholders come together to promote peaceful coexistence, neighborliness, public safety, and quality of life by lighting candles to dispel the darkness of hatred, violence, and lawlessness. I look forward to hearing from you as we finalize our speaking program. Jeremy, did you forward it to all the? So this came from Sheikh Musa Draming. And Jeremy just sent everyone an email with a little bit of history on Peace December. And You just forwarded the email, right? There's an attachment, I believe, with the history of Peace December. The reason I'm bringing it up now under new business is because we got it this evening and the event is scheduled for November 30th. And so I would like the support of the rest of the board to have a contingent, a community board contingent at this event. Any discussion? Okay, so I am making a motion for the community board to participate in Peace December on November 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. Naomi. Veronica?
Is this in, I know that he withdrew his request, but is this in connection with John Perez's request from last month? Because I know he mentioned the Peace Day
Yeah.
during his thing. I just wanted to know if he has any connection with it.
Well, John is actually here.
No, it's okay. I'm just
But no,
curious.
it is not. It's Sheikh Musa. I think this is a standing event that he's been doing for quite a while. So he wants the board
Okay.
to kind of support.
I just wanted
yeah.
to clarify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, discussion. Okay, so any objections? Any abstentions? Any yay votes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then, all right, thank you. If you're planning on participating and joining us, please let us know and then we'll get a nice group together. That said, Debbie, one last thing, go ahead. Debbie has one last item.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that during education, if nobody realized or had heard, December 23rd is now added to winter break.
Thank you. So, Purdom made a
Bus
motion
drivers
to
do it too.
adjourn. Do we have a second? All right, anyone against? All right. 9:01 p.m. meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your time.